We talk about great leadership on this channel a lot, but what does that mean? What does it mean to be a great leader? In this video, I want to start drilling in a little bit deeper into that question. What do we mean by great leaders? How do we hold this idea?
The key is to get started.
I want to talk about the idea that leadership is human work. Now, what do I mean by that? One of the ways to understand if you're leading or not is to know if there's anybody following you. Have you created an ecosystem or a space that is being filled by others who find something about what you're doing, the space you're creating, compelling? Leadership is human work. There's a lot of work that actually isn't human work, meaning the means of production or how value is created has to do with our engagement with material or in doing tasks, but not in creating the connection between humans who then do work. Leadership is human work. One of the ways to think about that is not necessarily that there's a leader out in front and a bunch of people following the leader. That's not quite the right way to think about it in a lot of the things that we're doing today. Today, we tend to work in teams, and teams create systems that operate amongst a bunch of humans. And there's these connection points between all the humans. Every human is connected to every other human, and all of these spaces between create an infrastructure of the team. We actually call that there is a social or connective infrastructure, social infrastructure. And there's a thing we call leadership, which is the tending to and maybe the facilitation of that social infrastructure. Now, everybody in the system is responsible for that as well, but there's a leadership role that allows that to be more effective. It's the idea that 1 + 1 + 1 can equal greater than 3. Leadership produces an environment that allows us to have something that is greater than the sum of the parts. We often call these soft skills, and it's things like communication, conflict resolution, empathy, listening, the creation of vision or purpose, being able to have and maintain emotional intelligence. And this list goes on and on and on. There's all kinds of these things and ways of packaging this up. What it boils down to is really the ability to create trust in a team or a psychologically safe place for a team to build a high caliber social infrastructure. And we tend to call all of those soft skills because there was first the notion of hard skills. And hard skills are things like the ability to code, maybe work with tools, carpentry, the ability to build something. There's just a never-ending list of hard skills. A lot of times people end up getting promoted into leadership because they're really, really good at these things over here. In fact, they're probably experts at them. We don't necessarily know if they're good at these things over here. They may have never done this before, but because they're experts at this, we give them the role of leadership. And it's good for a leader to have some hard skills. But I work with business owners who are struggling with a leader that they've promoted into management. And they'll say to me, but they're so good at their job. And what they mean is they're good at this as though that's their job. And what's true is it used to be their job, but now their job is this. And let's say this is a 50% of their job. Let's say that's true. When the owner says they're good at their job, they're talking about 50% of their job. And that's like saying they're good at math because they got 50% of the questions right on the last test. That's not good. That is an F. Because leadership is human work. It's the capacity to build the social infrastructure that facilitates trust. Trust sufficient that the output of the team is greater than the sum of their parts. It's the soft skills. It's why we say at Icon that we're working to help people show up as the best version of themselves so that they can help other humans show up as the best version of themselves. Leadership is human work. And one of the things that we're exploring on this channel is the human side of leadership.